palm reading of a male. We are reading important aspects of this particular palm. I would point out each and every line, whatever I see on this particular palm. I don't know the age of this particular person, so we would ignore that particular aspect. But I would be talking about at what age the important events may be indicated. First, let us take the money line. Money line is a line that everybody wants to know about. This is the line of money, and this is a new money line that is developing, something like this. And there's a very weak kind of a line as well out here, which basically becomes strong at a later stage. So this is what the money line looks like in this particular hand. So the timing on the line of money, also known as the fate line in palmistry, is we draw the headline out here. So the intersection of the money and the headline is age 35, somewhere out here. The age is 35 on the line of money. So what is happening is that at the mean around the age of 35, what is happening is that the money line is kind of ending and a new one is basically developing, at least on the right hand. So when there is a break in the line of money, it basically indicates two or three different things. The first thing could be there could be some job loss or work loss or something or the other that may come about at the age of 35. The second thing that may get applied is the main earning member of the family, their health or wealth goes down and more responsibility falls onto this particular person's head. The third thing that can also happen is one's personal life can also get disturbed due to a break on the line of money. The reason being, when there are problems in finances, it does have a negative impact on your personal life as well. So this is a reason why we have to basically consider each and every line in order to arrive at the conclusion. So there is some disturbances on the line of money. Beyond the age of 35, 36, there's one or two parallel lines, but the quality of these lines is not too great, not too good. But my understanding is that it is not only the money line that plays a part in the money aspect in one's life. We have to look even at the other lines as well, what the other lines are basically saying. To be able to make good money, you first need to have that desire to make money. To have a desire to make money, we look at the line of heart. This is the line of heart that we would be looking at. Normally, people generally think that the heart line is the line for relationships, partnerships, and your love life. But in my case, I try to correlate your heart line to your profession as well. So the heart line is purely and purely kind of ending under the mount of Saturn. This is considered to be a good sign because such a person's heart is angling towards Saturn, the Saturn mount. And Saturn is money, possessions, wealth, wisdom, responsibility. So such a person is likely to be wise, is likely to make wise decisions. The person would value money, the person would respect money, and the person would pray for money. And wherever the opportunity to make money arises, such a person would not leave that particular opportunity in their lives. So for these people, money is important, and because money is important, they would basically make more money in their life. You need to have that inner inclination. Until and unless you have that inner inclination, you would never be able to make good amount of money in your life. The quality of the heart line as such is reasonably clear. It's always better to have a reasonably clear cut heart line. In the initial stages of the heart line, there is an island on the heart line is a little bit negative. This is at a very, very initial stage before the age of 10. Island on the heart line does bring about some amount of emotional turmoil or some kind of a heart related problem at a very, very early stage. But I would say that we don't basically say in such way that it's going to be really bad, but it's just that there would be some troubles in the initial period of one's life according to the heartline. There could be some good sign as well. As we see out here, you would notice that this is a Jupiter line joining the headline. So this is a very, very good line. So there could be a good indication as well as a little bit of a negative indication as well at the same time. So don't think that that one bad indication and everything goes bad. But I just pointed out the negative indication. So this is the negative indication. Apart from that, then the line basically progresses and it's quite a simple kind of a looking heart line, which is considered to be good. There's also an upward branch from the area of Mercury joining the line of heart. This is also considered to be a good sign. Any line pointing from the mounts and joining the heart line is considered to be good, or it could be the reverse way. A line is kind of moving towards the fingers or a particular mount. Even those are considered to be positive signs. So these are the lines that are not there. This is the line that we are referring to. So this particular line that is kind of starting on the area of Mercury is considered to be good. It means that there would be some inner inclination towards statistics and economics and business, or it could be science or something like this would be there. And such a person would excel in these kind of things that I've just spoken about. Mercury is a very, very important planet to refer to. The lesser the lines, the better it is considered to be. It's not that more lines is better. It can be even the less lines can also be better. Actually, you would notice there's not one line but multiple lines out here. Multiple lines. A few of them are perpendicular lines. The perpendicular and independent lines are considered to be very, very good lines. These are indicative of the person is trying to master their skill. There also appears to be a V-like formation pointing towards the area of Mercury. Even this is considered to be a good sign. See, multiple lines on the mount of Mercury with multiple perpendicular lines on the mount of Mercury indicates multiple set of skills that the person may have. And it is always positive to have these kind of lines. We will just try to look at the other hand image also, the left hand image also. You would find there is perpendicular, one of these are stronger lines. This is the stronger perpendicular line. Then there's a little bit weaker kind of lines as well. So stronger lines means stronger set of skills. Weaker lines means that those skills need to be sharpened at a greater level. It's not that you need to have one line or two line or three line, only then you're going to be successful. Sometimes total absence of the line is also considered to be good. It's just that these lines should not intermingle with each other. Like they shouldn't be crossing too much. Too much of crossing would mean that such a person would make miscalculations and miscommunication. And those are considered to be negative. So in a slight way, there is some crossing. I wouldn't say that it is total, those crossings are totally absent, but perpendicular line as such is always considered to be good. These days, in order to excel in anything, you need to have some kind of a skill. In order to make money, you need to have skill. And to have a skill basically guarantees success. And those people would always be in demand if a person has got good set of skills. So in both the hands that we do see that there are perpendicular lines on the mount of Mercury, so the person is having multiple set of skills. In the left hand also, there's a slight branch that is kind of joining the heart line. That is there, it's there in the left hand also. But apart from that, there are few branches on the heart line that are leaning a little bit downwards. These branches over the heart line basically signifies being distracted, falling for temptations, not being able to commit yourself completely, and not being able to dedicate yourself completely. So these can also be referred as the line of stress and anxiety and getting distracted. It is always better to be very, very focused. When you're more focused, the chances of your success increases manifold. And people who are distracted, even if they are very knowledgeable or something, because of distractions, the amount of success they may get, they may be able to achieve, they would not be able to achieve because of getting distracted. So these lines should be very simple. The simpler the lines, the better they are considered to be. Now, if we just take a look at one of the attachment line, this is the attachment line. It is leaning a little bit downwards and kind of pointing towards the heart line. This is the heart line. So consider something just for explanation purpose. You're standing, the fingertips is the head, this is the lower portion of the body, and the earth and gravity, the base of the palm, and this is your physical heart. So the attachment line, when it is leaning downwards, it basically means that particular affection, that particular relationship is being pulled downwards. This is the earth and gravity. The downward, the palm, the base of the palm is the earth. So what is being pulled downwards? The attachment is kind of pulling this person downwards, and it is kind of having it is kind of creating that stress and anxiety or some kind of a problem that is getting created from the relationship. So this is only one of these lines that is kind of negative. I wouldn't say that the other line is basically negative, but this particular line, because it's leaning downwards, that's the reason why the attachment line is seen as a negative sign. Now, if we take a look at the headline, this is the line of head and this is the lifeline. So whenever there's a gap in the middle on basically signifies that such a person could be rash, outgoing, and never missing out on opportunities. So such a person like would believe in just do it attitude, would believe in action orientation. They would believe in action. So this is what they are. Now this portion of the palm, the headline, I'm unable to basically really comprehend what it is, because it's not very clear what it is. But a simple clear line would have been better. Simpler the line, the more predictable the person. But out here what we are finding, that there's few backward lines that are kind of from the headline, they're kind of pointing towards the area of Mars. You can say this way, or you can say the other way. From the area of Mars, from the area of, this is the area of Mars, this is the area of Mars, and from the area of Mars, few lines are kind of coming and touching the headline. This is what it is. So when they come and touch, when they kind of strike the line of head, it does create some amount of mental pressure. It does bring about some kind of fight like situations that may arise. So if a line from the area of Mars, the area of fire, touches the headline, it means anger entering or touching your head. When it touches your head, the chances of taking the right decision decreases, because when we are angry, we are unable to take the right decision because of that anger and aggression. So try to remove that anger and aggression from your mind, because if you are angry, the chances of making the wrong choices would be there. So try to remove that anger, aggression. Only then things can become better. These horizontal lines are also sometimes seen as the lines of oppositions. And because this is inside the lifeline, this area is inside the lifeline. So inside the lifeline is the area of your family as well. So, and the area of Mars is referred to as the area of the male members. So male members, family members, and horizontal lines like these would kind of bring about oppositions from male members in one's family. So this is what could be represented by the line of Mars. Now, it's always better to have less lines over the area of Mars. It would mean your fire is targeted. It means if there are more lines out here, it means your fire is untargeted. If there are less lines over the amount of Mars, negative, it means that your fire is going to be targeted. You would notice lots of lines over the area of Venus as well. Crisscrossing lines, something like these lines, constant. So it means that the person would basically misuse their energy and stamina and vitality. Although these lines may be out here, but they kind of do not touch the lifeline. So when they don't touch the lifeline, it would have less impact on you, less negative impact on you. The quality of the lifeline as such is quite simple, deep and clear, which is a very good indication, because It tells about the life energies and in general the health, because the quality of the lifeline is kind of becoming really better. So it basically means the person can expect good health as well. I wouldn't say the mental health part, but the physical health part would be expected, although misuse of fire and misuse of energy is also there at the same time. Now, the lines that I pointed out here in the right hand as well as the left hand, this is the left hand, you'd notice a line something like this originating on the mount of Jupiter and touching the and joining the headline, or it is touching the lifeline. Both these lines are considered to be good, and these are also rare kind of lines. The simpler and the better, simpler the lines, the better they are considered to be, more the rare the line it is basically. And it basically signifies what it basically signifies, this particular line that I'm referring to. This basically signifies that once the person is aspiring to be at a higher position, this is the line of ambition, this is the line of honor and respect, this is the line of a person reaching to a high position in one's life. Such a person who has this kind of indication always would reach to the high position, because they are aspiring to be at a high position. And the timing is going to be, see this, the time when the line from Jupiter joins the head line or the lifeline, the time is before the age of 20. But the impact of this particular line is going to be there throughout one's life. It's not going to be there only for 1 or 2 years or around the age of 18 or 20. It's going to be throughout one's life, and it is a beautiful indication to have. It basically means that the person would constantly be at a high position in their work or anywhere. Now, apart from this, this line can also be interpreted in a little bit different way. Consider lifeline to be a river. A line from Jupiter joining, it means a tributary joining from the Jupiter, bringing in the qualities of Jupiter in your life. Then you would notice few lines kind of point towards the area of Saturn. This is in the a little bit later portion, towards the area of a Saturn. These means tributaries from Saturn entering your life. So these are the luck lines. It brings more benefit. These are there more towards the later portion of your life, around the age of, after the age of 40, 45, and these lines are around the age of 55 and around plus minus few years. So they're considered to be good, although they are being also cut also. So the impact or the positive impact that these lines may have would be a little bit limited, but still it is going to be positive. Now we move to the sun line. This is the line of sun. This is the line of sun. In the initial phase, it is kind of a wavy kind of a line. Slight wave-like formation is out here. So this point is going to be age 35. So this portion of the sun line is before the age of 35. This portion is after the age of 35 till the age of 53. And this portion is after the age of 53. So this is how we basically interpret. So the line, this particular line that we are referring to, this is a little bit wavy. So wavy lines are kind of, we are not, with a wavy kind of a line, the intensity at which a person would be speeding up their work would be limited to some extent because of this waviness. A simple line, simple straight line, straight pointing towards the sun mount is considered to be the best. Simpler the line. So as you are growing older, in the initial phases, the line starts at an initial phase, then it kind of ends around the age of 34, 35, then it restarts at the age of 36 till the age of 44. It is kind of not purely pointing towards the sun mount, but around the age of 44 it kind of points towards the sun mount. So better things can be expected. But even in this particular portion, between the age of 44 till the age of 53, the quality and the depth of the line is limited. So after and beyond the age of 53, the things can become really good. And on top of that, you would also notice a little bit star-like formation can also be seen on the mount of sun. A star-like formation on the mount of sun can be seen as a good sign towards the end. So it can bring good prospects in one's life, specifically your profession. Now, there are, apart from one line, there are also multiple lines out here. So it's not necessary to have multiple lines on your area of mount of sun. It's better to have one line or two line, that's the maximum, but multiple line, basically the person could deviate from their goals. The person would try out not one thing but multiple things. So that is the reason why I normally say, so it's always better to specialize in one thing instead of multiple things. And one line can give you ultimate success, and it's not necessary more lines means more success. Sometimes no line can also mean very good success. So don't think that a line is necessary. Line should have depth and clarity. That's when the things can be really good. There also appears to be a line in the middle between the Saturn finger and the Sun finger. This particular line was told by one of my colleagues, a different palmist. They told me that this line is the line of education helping this particular person. Now, education, I wouldn't say that any formal education, it can be formal or informal education that the person may have studied or may have specialized. Those things are likely to come into use in this particular person's life, and the person would gain from the experience or the thing the person has trained himself to be in. So it's a good line to have. These perpendicular line is always good, so I would not say that there's anything negative to it. And let us basically take at the length of the finger. In this case, it appears that the length of the mercury finger appears to be a little bit short. See, while we are talking over the phone or WhatsApp, I would be conversing with you and getting to know if this mercury finger is really short as it shows up in the image. The reason why I am a little bit doubtful is because uh, when you shoot the images, sometimes we shoot the images in the wrong way. So that is the reason why the length of the fingers appear to be altered from reality. But still, because this finger appears to be shorter, it basically signifies that distance can get created between near and dear ones. So such a person would basically communicate with far off people with much more ease. The person would be able to communicate with maybe 10 or 15 or 20 people, unknown people, in a much more effective way compared to known people in their life. So it's always better to bridge your gap. Bridging of the gap would bring good result, and distance is not going to get created, or your personal life is also not going to get disturbed. These lines that you see, parallel lines that you see, these are referred as mercury lines or health line or liver line. They are reasonably good. So that's the reason why you should expect good prospects in the skills that you have. Although there are few crisscrossing lines also on the amount of mercury. If it was much more clear, I would have rated it to be much better. And it's a balanced hand. A balanced hand basically means a predictable hand. And the head and the heart line is kind of, the length is equally balanced. It means a person is quite a predictable kind of a person. And predictable people go much further compared to unpredictable people, because in general everybody wants to be near to predictable people. Nobody wants to be near to unpredictable people. Yes, there would be few problems according to what I mentioned on the headline. After the age of 35 also, and before the age of 35 also, there are few problems that I do foresee. The heart line does have a parallel kind of a line running to for a very short duration. So when another heart line is running parallel to the main heart line, it basically signifies that there could be some duality in emotions, dual emotions at the same time. And more lines in the center of the palm, the person's temper may be a little bit out of control. Lesser lines is always better. And sometimes our stomach also get disturbed due to more lines in the center of the palm or on the area of Mars negative area. So our anger, if we control, things can become much better. And towards the end of the heart line, there's a branch like formation, something like this. And it is considered to be good because it basically signifies that the person would be in company of known big people also, and the person would be able to get some kind of a benefit sometime or the other in one's life. So this is relationships or partnerships or those things are pulling the person upward. Basically it is kind of helping the person in some way or the other. And I would just end the video out here. I'm just trying to take a look if I need to add anything further. Between the age of 35 to the age of 53, there are two parallel lines of money, so parallel sources of income can be expected. Although the depth, these lines are lacking in depth and clarity. If they were much more deeper and clearer, I would have rated it to be much better. And now I'm just going to end the video, and I'm just taking a look if I can see anything else. So I will just end the video out here. Hopefully we will talk soon. Bye and take care.